Hi folks, welcome to your latest mwis planning outlook in association with Ellis Brigham. Now, high pressure is nearby over the next day or so, but we're dragging in a rather cloudy atmosphere from the Atlantic, and a front will come southwards during Thursday to produce some rain, especially across Scotland. That's the cold front, and some much chillier air then tucks in from the north into Thursday night and Friday. The general outlook is looking fairly unsettled, it must be said, as Atlantic southwesterlies dominate. Let's start with a look through temperatures then. This is the freezing level chart showing you the height of 0 Celsius in metres. In the short term, it's well above freezing on the mountains, but as we roll the story on into Thursday, we'll see how the colder air arrives from the north. The freezing level across the Highlands dipping to 1,000 metres or even below by the end of the afternoon, with some snow then falling on the back edge of a cold front, even down to around 800 metres or perhaps temporarily below. Now that chillier air sinks southwards overnight into Friday, so we start Friday morning sub-zero across the Scottish Munros and close to freezing point on the highest tops in northern England too, with a frost likely in many of the valleys and the glens. Now that chilly air will stay around through Friday daytime, not likely to lift above freezing point on the highest tops in Scotland. It will be cold again overnight into Saturday as well, but through Saturday daytime it's likely that freezing level will then lift somewhat, so we'll be back above freezing through the afternoon at least across the highest tops in Scotland, and then we're back into a generally milder run of days as southwesterly winds prevail again. Here's the weather maps for the next few days. Then high pressure centred to the south on Wednesday, a generally cloudy westerly airflow across the northern half of Britain as a whole, with low cloud covering the mountains in western Scotland much of the day. Some drizzly patchy rain coming in occasionally, but not amounting to a great deal, just a nuisance if anything. Higher cloud bases and something a bit brighter toward the eastern side of the Highlands. Still fairly cloudy across England and Wales as well. It may well cover many of the higher tops in the morning, but will tend to lift and break a little bit, with occasional sunnier spells coming through. Best of those again more toward the eastern side of the hills across England and Wales. Temperatures are fairly mild, but a rather breezy day for many areas, a windy day for higher mountains in Scotland, touching gale force even across the northernmost tops. Now, a windy day for many places into Thursday, particularly for northern England and central southern Scotland, where gales will be across the hills for a good part of the day. Will tend to ease down across Scotland from the north as the cold front sinks southwards. That allows the chillier air to arrive then. A spell of rain setting in for a good number of hours will sink southwards across Scotland as time goes on, and as mentioned, turning increasingly to snow across the higher tops from the north. This is how things pan out then through Thursday afternoon. It looks as though that front will gradually just advance its way southwards, so that rain sets in increasingly for the southern uplands through the afternoon, and patchy rain starting to come on to western hills in England and Wales, but it's likely to be further into the evening before that rain properly gets in across northern England, and the snow showers falling for a time across the Highlands will then tend to break up as skies clear from the north into the evening time. That rain band sinking southwards across the Pennines. There's the chance on the very highest tops in the lakes in the North Pennines there might be a bit of snow just on that back edge of that front. May just give something of a dusting, but really on the very highest tops. Overnight then into Friday, that front sort of fizzles out as it sinks southwards, and those skies do clear across Scotland and northern England. Temperatures in the valleys first thing on Friday morning will be down close to freezing, and probably the chilliest start of the autumn season so far. Highland glens could well dip a degree or so below freezing, and you'll be close to freezing point across the valleys in northern England as well. It leads to a good day though on Friday as high pressure once again establishes itself across the country. A clearer situation by this stage, some excellent visibility will be around having had that cold front go through. Light winds overall. The far north of the Highlands may still be affected by a stronger westerly breeze, a bit more cloud cover in the far north and northwest here. Otherwise a good amount of sunshine will be in the picture through the daytime. Temperatures then, as we've said, staying on the chilly side on those high tops. Where skies are clear overnight into Saturday, another cold one, and maybe a bit colder again compared to first thing Friday. So Saturday dawn, a frost across the Highlands, and possibly a frost even for northern England too, with temperatures down close to freezing point and sub-zero in Highland glens, particularly more in the Cairngorms region. A bit more in the way of cloud, maybe starting to come in from the west. It's a gradual transition then back to sort of Atlantic air that drifts into the weekend. A bit of uncertainty on the exact detail of this. Something of a front is out over Ireland. Dregs of cloud and maybe bits of showery rain just coming into some western areas through the day on Saturday. Many places broadly looking to have a decent day with dry and some sunny spells. Cloud just maybe building across more western regions. Wind speeds look fairly light at this stage. We're still being influenced by fairly high pressure. Bit of a tangled looking weather situation onwards into Sunday. It's just starting to gear itself up for Atlantic systems developing, something of a weak front draped somewhere across northern England and Wales. We'll watch the detail of that one. Expect there to be a sort of a cloudier atmosphere back in again, some dregs of rain and drizzle in places. Temperatures a bit milder than the previous days at this point. Risk of wind strengthening a bit as well. I won't be too clever with Sunday's detail, just expect there to be more in the way of cloud and some rain in the forecast at this distance. Watching then the next low spinning itself up to the southwest for a generally more unsettled trend as we head toward the start of next week. It's likely that a broad area of low pressure is going to be over the North Atlantic into the week ahead, and that feeding in mild southwesterlies early in the week with some spells of wind and rain, maybe fairly frequent or persistent falls of rain across many western mountains, but quite widespread as well. Gales, if not even severe gales at times on some mountains through next week. The day-to-day detail is uncertain, but with low pressure nearby, that is likely to be a rather unsettled trend. Some maybe more prolonged falls of heavy rain in the mix as well. Now, a mild southwesterly in the early part of the week could start to be replaced by a more colder air mass coming around from the north eventually. You can see that digging in out over the Atlantic just to the west of us in midweek, and it could well be that by the end of the week that more northerly airstream is affecting the British Isles. Some uncertainty how this pattern plays out, but I think we can expect the week as a whole to become chillier with time and the potential again for the mountains to fall sub-zero with some showers of snow on those highest tops, especially in the Highlands. It's these back and forth autumnal weather patterns that we know and love. We shall keep you up to date with those details. That is your planning outlook for today in association with Ellis Brigham. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.